So lesson 16 is about multiplying and dividing polynomials. To multiply two polynomials, we just use the distributive property. So I have 2x plus 2 times 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply the 2x by everything over here, being very careful to put my pluses and minuses where they belong. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So 2x times 3x squared is going to be 6x cubed. And then 2x times negative 5x is going to be minus 10x squared. And then 2x times 2 is going to be plus 4x. So I'm done with the 2x. I have done all the pieces. And now I'm going to do the 2. So I'm going to multiply the 2 times the 3x squared. It's going to give me plus 6x squared. And now I'm going to multiply the 2 by the negative 5x, so minus 10x. And now I'm going to multiply that 2 by the last 2, so that'll be plus 4. All right, so I have distributed everything. I've been very careful about all of my signs and things. So now I'm going to group together my like terms. So 6x cubed is the only x cubed term, so that has nothing to combine with, so that'll just be 6x cubed. And then I have a minus 10x squared and a plus 6x squared, so that adds up to minus 4x squared. And then I have a 4x and a minus 10x. So 4 minus 10 is negative 6, so minus 6x. And then I have the 4 at the end, and that's it. So that's all I can do, and that is how you would multiply those two polynomials. Okay, so now I have these two polynomials that I want to multiply. It might be a little bit easier to use the commutative property of multiplication and put the shorter one first instead of second. So x minus 2 times 3x squared minus 2x minus 2, but you can do it either way. Doesn't matter which one goes first. So I'm going to start with the x. I'm going to multiply the x times the first term in the second polynomial. So that'll be x times 3x squared, which will be 3x cubed. So x times negative 2x is going to be minus 2x squared. And lastly, I'm going to multiply that x by the negative 2, so negative 2x. So that's all I needed to do with that x. And next I'm going to do this negative 2, so minus 2. Minus 2 times 3x squared is going to be minus 6x squared. Minus 2 times minus 2x is going to be positive 4x. And then negative 2 times negative 2 is going to be positive 4. So I distributed the x, I distributed the negative 2, and now I'm going to add my like terms. There's only one x cubed term, and that is 3x cubed. Then I have 2x squared. I have two x squared terms, minus 2x squared minus 6x squared. That adds up to negative 8x squared. And then I have a minus 2x and a plus 4x. That's going to give me positive 2x. And then I have plus 4 at the end. That's all I can do. To divide polynomials, we use the same process we use with regular long division. So let's just look at that and remember what the steps are. The steps for long division are divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. You just keep doing that over and over until you're done. So we're going to start by dividing. You divide 6 into 1, it's not going to happen. 6 into 12 goes 2 times. So we'll put a 2 here. Now we multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. Now we subtract. 12 minus 12 is 0. Now we bring down. Bring down the 3. 6 divided into 3 doesn't happen, so we got to bring down the 4 also. 6 goes into 34. Well, first of all, the 3, we couldn't divide 6 into 3, so we had to put a 0 here. 6 into 34 goes 5 times, so 5 goes here. Now we multiply. 5 times 6 is 30. Now we subtract. 34 minus 30 is 4. Now we bring down the 5. Now we start over. 6 goes into 45. We divide 6 into 45. That is going to be 7. Now we multiply. 7 times 6 is 42. Now we subtract. 45 minus 42 is 3. And there's nothing left to bring down, so this is going to be our remainder. If we divide 12,345 by 6, we get 2,057 and 3/6, which is the same thing as 2,057 and 1/2. So this is what you do for long division. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So let's try it. All right, so we're going to divide 2 plus 5x minus 2x squared plus 5x cubed by -4 plus x. When we set this up, we are always going to set it up with the highest power of x being on the far left, and we go down, 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 down until we get to a constant. When we set this up, we're going to put x minus 4 on the outside, and then we're going to put the polynomial under the bracket, starting with the highest power of x and going down to the constant. So 5x cubed comes first, and minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. And now we divide. X goes into 5x cubed, 5x squared times. You're looking for the number that when you multiply it by x, you get 5x cubed, so that would be 5x squared. Now we multiply. 5x squared times x is 5x cubed. 5x squared times -4 is -20x squared. Now we subtract. 5x cubed minus 5x cubed is 0. -2x squared minus -20x squared is positive 18x squared. Now we bring down the 5x. Now we divide again. X goes into 18x squared, 18x times. Multiply, 18x times x is 18x squared. 18x times -4 is -72x. Subtract, 18x squared minus 18x squared is 0. 5x minus -72x is positive 77x. Bring down the 2. And divide again. X goes into 77, 77 times. Multiply, 77 times x is 77x. 77 times -4 is -308. And now we subtract. 77x minus 77x is 0. 2 minus -308 is positive 310. And that is our remainder. So our final answer is going to include that remainder. Right here, we will call that plus 310 over x minus 4. Now we are going to divide -6 plus x cubed by -2 plus x. So we're going to start with that -2 plus x. We're going to write it as x minus 2, because we're going to start with the highest power of x, going down to the constant. And then under the bracket, we are going to write this. We're going to start with the highest power of x, and for any powers of x that we don't have, we're going to put a 0 for each one. That way we will keep everything organized and lined up correctly. So we've got x cubed, but we don't have an x squared term, so we're going to put 0x squared. We don't have an x term, so we're going to put 0x. And then we're just going to put minus 6. So we have to include a placeholder for every power of x to keep this organized. And now we do the division. X goes into x cubed, x squared times. Multiply x squared by x, which is x cubed, minus 2x squared. Subtract x cubed minus x cubed is 0. 0 minus -2x squared is positive 2x squared. Bring down the 0x. Now we're going to divide. X goes into 2x squared, 2x times. Now multiply. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times -2 is -4x. Subtract. 2x squared minus 2x squared is 0. 0 minus -4x is positive 4x. Bring down the -6. Divide. X goes into 4x 4 times. Multiply. 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times -2 is -8. Subtract. 4x minus 4x is 0. -6 minus -8 is positive 2. And that's our remainder. So we will put that as 2 over x minus 2.